I don't know. When watching movies like Die My Love, I really try to think of what audience this is for. And I'm struggling. I'm completely struggling here. Chase Liaki here with the Blue Futon reviewing Die My Love. So what's about pretty simple premise. Jennifer Lawrence, Robert Pattinson are in a relationship, have a kid, and the relationship's going to shite. In simple terms, you have Jennifer Lawrence kind of just going in her own mental state. Robert Pattinson trying to do stuff, but he also is doing stupid character decisions like bringing a dog home or maybe being promiscuous, which I still don't know if that's true or not, because I don't know if that was a true thing in Jennifer Lawrence's mind game because of the condoms in the glove box, or just stupid character decisions by Robert Pattinson as well of what he's trying to think was right by doing more alcohol drinking and mostly maybe taking care of the kid or seeing what's up with Jennifer Lawrence, even though he is trying to be very supportive with her when talking to his mother. This is all about Jennifer Lawrence and how she is dealing with her life. And I understand how some people are calling this a postpartum depression movie. I'm going to have to disagree with that one because this does dig deeper into Jennifer Lawrence's past. And I do think that correlates to what's happening now. So just calling it a postpartum depression movie, I think, is incorrect. But that's just my personal opinion looking at this film. As you could tell, wasn't the biggest fan of it. For what it was trying to say, it was tedious. It was a little too artsy-fartsy to me. What it was trying to say is, like I said, I don't know. I don't know the overarching message with this movie because you might think, oh, LaKeith Stanfield's in this movie, and other people know. LaKeith Stanfield, give him maybe 3 minutes of screen time. And I'm not joking. I don't think he speaks a single word in this movie. I'm not joking. Like, he doesn't speak in this movie whatsoever. So if you're expecting like him to be a true subplot in this movie, don't do it. I mean, he's a little bit of a subplot, but it's like so minuscule that you're like, huh, okay, whatever. All right, so positives. Jennifer Lawrence and Robert Pattinson do a good job. I feel like Jennifer Lawrence doesn't really care anymore with, showing her body because a good 20% of the movie is her either topless or full frontal nudity, just like no hard feelings. And it's happening again. So if you're into just her being depressed and walking around naked, this movie is probably for you. But to me, it kind of got old. I know it's like, oh, you don't like Jennifer Lawrence naked? Of course, who wouldn't? But at the same time, it just feels unnecessary to an extent where you're like, what is the point of her just walking around naked in this hospital or walking around with one boob out, just walking around? And with that, it is a very sexualized show when dealing with that type of stuff. But after that, like, positive, like I said, it's an interesting looking film, how it's shot and things like that. And there are some cool camera angles or camera speeds they decided to do in this movie that makes it really fun to watch. And Robert Pattinson, of course, does a good job. And there's just crazy, weird scenes like with the fire, with the horse, and like they're trying to do this lion-esque, like, sexual predator type of thing. I don't know. Again, at the point when watching this film, it goes from scene to scene to scene about, Jennifer Lawrence really taking care of the baby and all of a sudden doing stupid stuff with the baby. And then you dissecting of, like, is what is happening really true or not? Because there's something happens at the very, very end where she leaves a wedding. And you're like, was that true or not? Was being in the hospital the true thing that was happening? Or was the rest of the stuff was all in her brain? I don't know. I know it's supposed to, I guess, be that kind of ambiguous confusion thing happening. But at the same time, I'm like, what's this? What is this movie for? What's this supposed to try to tell the audience? I do think this is a critic's darling film, and audience is going to despise this film. That's what I got from it. It's not a lot for me to talk about in this movie because maybe I'm a dude. I don't understand what it was trying to say. They're both not good people. I feel sorry for the baby growing up if it's going to be this broken home. Like I said, there are pros and cons to each character of, like, Jennifer Lawrence taking care of Robert Pattinson's dad or because of the dementia. But then also Robert Pattinson is also trying to protect his wife and, like, while he's not into it sexually, he still loves her for who she is, for being the mother of his child. So again, I don't know what it's for, what it is trying to say, and the overarching message. So overall, Die My Love, sure, but I don't know if I really think it is metaphorically or physically as well. I think it's more of just a mental state of Die My Love, but I could be completely wrong, especially with the very end of someone walking somewhere naked again, wink, wink, again, naked again, and you're just thinking, maybe maybe this is more than just having a baby. I think there's something more deeper down that we're probably never, ever, ever, ever going to figure out. So Die My Love will receive a 2 out of 5 with Futons, which equals that 40%. So let's see the critics and user scores gave this one. Critics, a 75% with 182. Audience score, a 44% with over 250. Like I said, critic darling movie. Critic consensus, a friend's depiction of a common but oft ignored experience. Die My Love might be too stylistically mannered to fully connect, true, but gives Jennifer Lawrence with one of her most vivid roles yet. I think she has kind of gone off the crazy end, especially with this, Mother, things like that. But audience down below, unless you enjoyed being depressed, I would stay clear of this one. Some person gave it a 5 out of 5, 1 to 4, 1 to 0.4, 1 to 3, 1 to 0.5. Again, critics are like saying it's amazing. But yeah, what else has this director done just out of curiosity? I really liked When You Were Never Really Here, even though I do wish it went a little bit more extreme. We Need to Talk About Kevin is also a pretty good movie. So, I mean, I'm okay with her movies, but this one, like I said, I just don't know what she was trying to tell me. 44, 40, 75. Chase Like here, the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm these Futontopia. Your Blue Futon. Thank you for watching. Great day. I can watch today, tomorrow, week, for month, a year. If not, obviously go freak one of you. Peace and love, peace and love. And are you willing to die for your love? I said that pretty crappily.